What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to be showcasing the Snap.Fan finals from the tournament which took place this weekend. If you're not familiar with Snap.Fan, it's an absolutely amazing resource which provides all of the different cards, variants, and locations within Marvel Snap. They also post regular articles about upcoming battle passes, leaks, data mines. You can also build your own decks there, post them and share them with your friends. Absolutely amazing website. Be sure to check it out. But yeah, over this weekend, they hosted one of the first open Marvel Snap tournaments. It was open to 300 players who could just sign up over on the website. There was a Swiss round, and that led into a top 8 bracket, which I casted. I had the pleasure of casting. So yeah, the final games were an absolute. It was crazy. I'm gonna show you guys the gameplay. The decks that the players brought was absolutely insane. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
All right, so we got game 1 up.
Here we go. So the extra card draw coming down. We've got the Reality Stone for Johnson. We'll see if he wants to play it, if he wants to try and get some cycles straight off the bat.
I must say, this is really testing my knowledge of the images and location.
Oh yeah, trust me. It gets difficult. It gets difficult, but we will try our best here. So early turn 1 snap from Tori. This is what I was saying, right? He's known for his aggressive snaps. So in this situation, it's either like, okay, like Johnson's looking at his hand and it's not too amazing, you know what I mean? It's not really the star he wants. So does he want to believe Tori?
I don't have a Quinjet, don't have a lockjaw.
It's a situation where, does he want to believe Tori snap? Does he want to just stay in for it? I mean, listen, I can respect staying in for the first one. Okay, goes for the retreat. I respect that as well, 100%. He knows that Tori is confident with his snaps, so yeah.
Absolutely. I think if you had one or the other, you could hedge your bets enough to stay in. But at this point, these guys know the matchup so well that even just one card is enough for them to be confident to snap on.
100%, yep. This is a much better looking hand here for Johnson starting off this match.
Especially to have a Time Stone in hand to ramp into the Doom later.
Yes.
Well, that's a snap from Johnson. Let's see if Tori will match.
So we've got Asgard here. Asgard probably doesn't mean anything to these players, honestly. Like, with the amount of cycle these decks do, drawing isn't really a concern.
If anything, sometimes it's better to keep the high-value cards in the deck to cycle into later for cheap.
Yep, exactly. There's that lockjaw. That's what you want to see.
It's looking great for Johnson, but you know we don't know Tori's hand. It's a snap back from Tori, I think.
No, actually, what happened? I think Tori snapped first and Johnson snapped back because there was the ring there. Yeah, so I think Johnson just snapped back there with the lockjaw pickup. So I'd be happy to see you know, just like your lockjaw, soulstone, time stone, next turn can do a doom if he wants to. Yeah, so
what's interesting is I think the Elysium actually favors Johnson more because they can get the Doctor Doom out in 5, but Tori can't, you know, get the leech a turn earlier.
Oh, the Titan and mid, yes, the Titan location to
Titan, not Elysium,
yeah, definitely, and it definitely favors him for sure. But it makes sense if Tori's showing this Quinjet, that's why he wanted to snap. He clearly has a good hand. So let's see if Johnson can pull some big cards. Death is a big card for sure. Coming out with the Time Stone. That's this.
Oh, and the space.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, especially coming into like a location like Kiln.
Kiln. Yeah.
Oh, I like this play.
Yeah. See, I figured they would have pushed the. Maybe I'm not a good enough Thanos player, but I figured they would have pushed all the power onto right with Arrow to try and lock the location in.
I think basically he probably figures that he's gonna win right anyways, and I'll tell you why. Is because I think he imagines, now maybe not, but I think Johnson's imagining that Tori's gonna just play some cheap stuff into the lockjaw lane, so he has prio. So if he just throws these stones, his arrows are gonna shift the stones over.
That makes sense.
Not gonna be enough power, and he should be able to secure this lane on the right. Which, I mean, it appears to be the case so far, but I guess we're gonna see. Odin reactivating that space stone, absolutely crazy. Yep, there comes the soul stone. Okay, Sunspot's okay. He's after reactivating the space stone though, so he can always move that Odin over if he needs to, which I think is absolutely huge in this situation.
The problem of moving the Odin over into right is that Torikun can just pass and hopefully go into a She-Hulk on 6 and win right anyway.
That is true. Now Johnson does also have a Doom though, if he wants to put even more power into the right location, which is nice.
That is true.
Yeah.
And I think he's realized that, and that's why he's switching to that play.
100%. Yeah. Overall, this is just looking super, super good for Johnson. The into the Space Stone, into the Odin. It's yeah. What can you say? Amazing.
I if you're pro for the environment, this is definitely the match to show off, reduce, reuse, recycle with these lockjaws.
Yes, 100%. Do you know what's funny here is honestly, Johnson could just pass, and then he can do like She-Hulk, Doom. If he really wanted to, he could.
The problem with passing is that it's kind of scary giving up priority in these matchups.
Yes, that's true. Actually, that is true. That is true. He's trying to figure out if he wants to Doom here or not.
Doom does limit his options a lot, so this might be better.
I suppose actually he'll still maintain priority though through this, and he's still gonna get the She-Hulk discounts. The wave is actually really good as well. Oh, there he is. There he is. There's our favorite card.
Yeah, so that's Shang leached as well, which is not great
that's
for Johnson.
really, really unfortunate.
But Johnson already has a lot of power on the board, and Torikun can't just pass turn to win right side.
I really like this. There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say I really like the Killmonger there because I think what he was thinking of is
Shang.
Shang. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
To counter it. So overall, yeah, I mean, listen, the leech comes out, but it's still not enough. Tori retreats for the 4, and Johnson has the advantage moving into round 3.
It's definitely showing what Johnson's deck does best, and I know you guys commented on it earlier. Johnson looks to get a lot of value early on and use cards like Shang early on to build tempo and then protect it in the final turn, while most Thanos players, especially with Leech, like to try and control the turn 6 and win on that turn.
100%, yeah. We've got a snap from both players coming in now, so gonna go to 4 cubes, moving on to turn 2. Both players are committed. I think this is just Tori's like game plan maybe all the time, but he must also be, I feel like he would have to be confident in his hand as well to be snapping here. So let's see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Reality Stone into the Crocia. Rough.
At the end of the day, your hand is only strong in relativity to your opponent's hand. So with these early snaps, you have to take into account the chance of you drawing something and the chance of your opponent drawing something.
So this Reality Stone may actually, help Tori out a little bit, get rid of that Necrotia, but Johnson just wants a bit of cycle here, which I can respect.
The Avengers compound coming out on 5, which might force both players to play Lockjaw into the mid. Huh.
I don't mind this in mid because if he plays Space Stone, he can like move something, put something else in, and then he kind of, if he wants to do that, then he's gonna end up breaking his lane by turn 4. But it's not really gonna matter because on turn 5 they can't Shang it. It have to be on turn 6, which usually on turn 6 your opponent wants to be doing something. I feel like wants to be doing something better than just playing Shang-Chi and stuff and a few stones. So
yeah,
I like this play too. This is quite good. Yep. So 2 Lockjaws coming down.
Go mid.
Yeah, space makes sense.
So the Space Stone is going to be really useful for Johnson here.
He does have Prio, so playing Killmonger now gets rid of all of the stuff, but if stones get pulled for Tori, they won't get rid of them. But if stones get pulled for Tori, that's probably more beneficial than if big stuff gets pulled. So
I also think clearing space here for Johnson is more beneficial, especially with priority, than for Tori currently.
Yeah, and opting to hold on to this Soul Stone as well, which I can respect. He could have played it for free, but it doesn't really matter too much, I don't believe. Pulling the arrow, okay. Space Stone. Oh, that's not really what you want to see.
Not great for Tori. Especially when you need those high casino rolls to build some tempo back into Johnson.
Yep. There's a bugged Space Stone there for you chat right there. That is not supposed to be there. But I mean Tori Tori has the option where he like it's weird, but he could do exactly what Johnson's doing. He could move his Lockjaw into Avengers compound and just throw some stones in there right now. That is always an option.
I think that would be beneficial for Tori, as Tori has higher power units. So in the end, it should win out. The only concern is Shang.
I'm going for the casino roll. Oh, so the Space Stone was picked up as well. This is not going to be too impactful now. The wave coming down is quite good. He can do She-Hulk into something else here. Death as well, unless...
Death is a great pull.
Yeah, that's a great pull. If we see a Leech here, it's going to be quite unfortunate, though. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. Shang comes down. Not the worst. What gets pulled? Alrighty. See, but that Space Stone is like, it's fine, right? Since there's no big card there, it's not like there's going to be a lot of power he can kind of move about.
Yeah.
Okay. Hovering over. Oh, I like this play.
I really like this.
Now, playing the She-Hulk into...
It's risky.
Yeah, it's risky because you could pull just like a 1-cost stone and then end up tying.
But I guess Johnson's trying to play around the possibility. Tori can't really flood the board though, thanks to Wave. So there's not really a situation where they're going to be able to play more than 3 units, and they have priority, so nothing's.
I think, yeah, I would.
Nothing's sticking in the lockjaw, so I think She-Hulk is fine on right side.
I would say this is always a win because even if when Johnson pulls whatever card Tori decides to play, 15 is a lot on mid. I don't think he's going to be able to beat 15 firstly, and even if he ties, I think he should win. Yeah, he's gonna win overall still, so it should be fine. Worst comes to worst, he will still be tying. Like if one pair of stone gets pulled, it should be fine here. And if Tori decides to stay in, this could be Johnson gaining the advantage going into this this final match, or this best of 3 match.
I don't see the angle that would make Tori feel safe enough to stay in. I also don't play Thanos whatsoever. So I have no idea what the capabilities are.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's Johnson's game. Let's see what it is. Pulls the Power Stone. There's the Thanos. And that's game. Oh my god, that's Johnson. Whew.
Game 1 to Johnson. 9-0 sweep.
Quick game to Johnson. Very impressive Aero Odin play there by him. Getting the wave out of the lockjaw was super, super useful. That's a card that I kind of discussed with Coco earlier. It's like super, super good against Thanos players. You know? Because like...
Absolutely. It's especially such an asymmetric card because you can build your deck to benefit off of it while simultaneously hurting your opponent's deck and being able to get it out quicker than you could with, say, a traditional Sandman.
It like stops them from being able to, and if you have a She-Hulk on your side and stuff like that, like you can play 2 cards, but it also stops them from like we said, potentially just playing a Shang and then throwing some stones as an extra slot, or even if they want to do Arrow and do like stones somewhere else, it's just like a really restrictive card for Thanos players in general. And I love the fact that like he can do stuff like Wave into Odin into Doom. It's just like a super, super cool combo and something unique that we haven't really seen used against many Thanos decks.
Definitely. Although in our first Battle Arena tournament in February, Thanos Lockjaw was actually beaten out by a Sandman deck, Electro Sandman deck pre-nerf. I don't know if Sandman was in it, but it was pre-buff of Sandman, sorry.
Oh, so when he was a 4-1?
Yeah, Electro Ramp. Just vanilla Electro Ramp beat out Thanos Lockjaw at, and there were no Shuri in top 8.
Interesting. All right, so going into this game, we've got a Sunspot for Tori, Mind Stone draws Power, and Time Stone for Johnson. Yeah, these Time Stones on 2, man. I'm really curious. I want to ask him. Listen, it's just good for cycle, and what Coco said makes sense as well, right? It's like he doesn't run Leech in this deck, so it's not like he needs to do it on 3 to cycle into a card like Leech.
Yeah, it definitely helps him build tempo to, control the match with Arrow quicker.
Yes. I like this. This is solid. He's got to get the 3 procs on death, so it's going to be 6 cost. Also, removing that Sunspot is just good. Helps him kind of keep prio here. This is a little bit of a rough turn.
Lockjaw being played right is definitely good for Torikun to protect from at least being able to hardcast a Shang out into any of their big targets, locking that lane in for them.
This could be a big lockjaw for Tori. That's very good. But like we said, right? Like he can move the lockjaw and keep the Thanos there because it's protection against Shang. So
the wave means we're going to be able to get Death and one other card out, right? Which is probably enough to take Max to building.
Yep, correct. Depending if we can keep a prio here though or not. And if we can keep prio, then we can just do a straight up Arrow Death. Go back to the old Death Wave days.
I enjoyed Death Wave for the few days in Biz, Zabu.
Yep.
Before Thanos Lockjaw became a thing again with Leech.
I remember playing Death Wave when KM first kind of like showcased it back before Leader was really everywhere. We got a snap here from Johnson, which is quite interesting. I think it might all depend on if the Lockjaw gets moved or the Thanos gets moved. Okay, the Lockjaw gets moved.
I think going into Jotunheim is good here for Tori if they're predicting a wave.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't able to pull a big target out, which sucks for them, and it's going to mean controlling Baxter building is. Oh, but it's been reality stoned.
This
so
is
def is low enough to be able. Yeah, I think this has got to be a win for Johnson.
Yep.
Oh, but it doesn't have prior.
See, this is the issue. That reality stone was so good to get rid of Baxter. Because if he kept Baxter, he would have had prio. In this situation, it's very much a case of if Tori doesn't play into. I feel like if Tori doesn't play into Jotunheim here, he should win if he decides to go for that play. I like the Doom. The Doom is really good.
Doom is a safe play.
Yeah.
You just spread value out across the board and flip the big house with Def. All the while dodging any possible Shang-Chi's.
Yeah, it's also quite decent against Arrow. It doesn't quite claim the victory on the right side, but if it ends up being Arrow on, I guess, left or mid, this is smart from Tori. Yeah,
it's good 4 cubes for Johnson. Yeah, I definitely think Tori's struggling into this tempo value matchup. Their deck's really not built to play against it.
Yeah, and I think it's because Johnson has all of these different options like Doom. I mean, Death was just like a big body there, but the fact that he could play the 2 cards, having that kind of spread with Doom is super impactful against cards such as Arrow. So yeah, overall it was probably a smart decision from Tori to escape there.
I mean, Def is just a very viable backup She-Hulk for when you're going into that, wave 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I'm still reminiscing on that play when we had Space Stone into Odin from the Lockjaw lane. That's something you don't see too often because Odin is a 6, like, do you know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
it was nice to see something like that pulled off.
Some lovely value. We've seen some incredible plays so far in this Top Cut.
Mm-hmm. We've seen some absolutely mental reality stones, some really
Arrow reality stone.
The Arrow reality stone was probably one of the best plays I think I've seen this tourney. Honestly, it was amazing. Snap coming in from Tori here. We're gonna get a full draw here from Johnson. Change the Camp Lehigh is not going to get the 3 cost, so he just gave Tori a free 3 cost there. Wonder what that is. Space Stone is going to swap over to Tori's side. Again, I love this from Johnson, just slamming down the Shang. I think people need to take note of this more, honestly.
Definitely. Like, you don't need to save Shang for a turn 6 swing every time. You need to be able to build some board presence. You see people complaining all the time. They get leeched on 5, they get arrowed on 6. You really need to be able to build some board strength early. You can't just try and be greedy and flip for a 4 and 8 cube win every game.
It just makes sense. And again, especially in a deck like this, when you've got such powerful like 6 drops and stuff, there's really no need to save your Shang for anything else. If you're removing from anywhere from 9 to 11, 12 power from the board, that's a huge swing. So like, why not do it when you can do it?
Absolutely. And any good player is going to spread out their high power cards across the board, so you're not going to benefit from waiting for them to stack a lane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's that wave, man.
Yeah. No She-Hulk or Death though.
That is true. We do have it's probably not a good option, but like we can do Doom and Odin. We don't really have the space for that at the moment, but it could be an option. Polaris bricks the Sakar lane, unfortunately. So let's see if I guess you know what, the Magneto could come in handy here by pulling the Polaris.
Yeah, I was thinking, does re-triggering for Magneto do anything though?
I don't think re-triggering is worth it, but
but then you'd maybe play Thanos right side after Magneto mid.
Yeah. I don't know how
it's definitely tricky for Johnson here, having their left lane clogged up.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's worth playing Magneto mid. If you do Magneto mid, obviously that Devil Dino is going to change a little bit, but it's going to roughly be on about, let's say, 20 power for Tori. Johnson's going to be on 13, so if he just decides to just finish off with a Thanos in mid, yes, he could possibly take the win if Tori can't, fill left and right. Yeah, this is good. This is fine.
This is good for Tori, because, well,
for Johnson,
now they flip left and right, and they can flip middle with Thanos.
Yep. And they're going to have to, I think I think it's Thanos mid here. I don't think they're going to be able to
Yeah,
catch up
also-
on left and right. Now, they may, and the two cards that Tori can play here are, well, if Tori plays this anyways, it's pretty rough, I think. But if there's an arrow on the right and if there's a power stone on the left, I do believe that will be enough. But if
that would take the win.
yeah, if those cards aren't present, I think this may be Johnson's game. So I think it's definitely worth it's worth for Johnson staying in here for sure.
I mean, you can see Johnson's thinking about it. He hasn't instantly proceeded to the final turn.
Yeah,
He's going for it. Ooh,
oh, that's not the play we said though. So
Magneto.
nah, that's not gonna be enough. Shifts the power. So it's essentially what we said, except he had a
Yeah, except a Magneto to shift the power in.
yeah. So it's
So Torikun's starting to gain some traction back now.
yeah, for sure. So 4 and
I
4.
think really the key aspect here in that game was that Johnson couldn't pull off the Shulkin the Death on turn 6, which really has given them their flexible power plays. And the Leech on 5, even if they had it in their hand, would have prevented them from doing so.
Yeah, that was a huge huge Magneto. Okay. Changing.
That one's called Machine World, right?
Yes.
One on the left.
Yes.
I never know how to feel about Machine World. I feel like it's a location that wants you to not play into it.
Yes, I would agree. I consider it not the same, but kind of like Lechugia. You don't. It's not as bad as Lechugia because like if you play into it, it's not like you're messing up your draw, but like you could give your opponent decent stuff. Sometimes it's okay. Like you play into the lane. Oh, I don't care if my opponent gets this. It's not really too important to me. But in this situation, I think it's not a bad location for Johnson to, change into because Tori's probably going to avoid that lane for a little bit, I'd say.
I think a niche situation where I see us playing into it as positive is if you play an Ebony Moor on free and just brick up their hand.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. Okay.
Now the question is here: you avoid the gamma, don't you? And then you try and go. You put one in there, so you have the 12 cost, and then if you find your Shang-Chi, then you can flip the tempo that way.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what's really good for Tori in the situation is if he has a space. Okay, he doesn't. If he had a space stone and he played into that lane, that would have been huge because he could have just moved the free Hulk wherever he wanted to. Okay, here's the situation.
Losing the lockjaw for Torikun here is definitely an up for Johnson because they've lost a lot of their punch going into the later rounds.
This is turn. Yes, this is turn 4. I actually don't mind playing the Killmonger here. It might seem a little bit weird, but you get a bit of a death discount if somehow Wave gets pulled. It's all right. The arrow into the lockjaw.
I understand the arrow in case of a Shang on curve to go for the Hulk.
That makes sense. I like the switch. I like this. This is good.
Yeah, because if Torikun does play Shang on curve here, then they can keep building up more power in middle of lockjaw. Yeah.
No. This could be Shang and then a stone. Oh no. Shield, all right.
No. This is definitely awkward for Johnson now because they probably bet on having a Shang on curve, and now all their power is located middle where they already have a good Shang target.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's gonna go down to a 3, and with this time stone, actually, this means that Death and She-Hulk are both playable next turn because I believe She-Hulk will go down to a 4 cost and Death will be a 3 cost, and we'll have 7 energy available to us. So this is an interesting option. We do also have that Odin to maybe hit the arrow again. That could be an interesting play.
I don't think. Oh, they do have a space for it now with the stones. But the issue with just playing She-Hulk and Death is that they don't really have any utility to control what Torikun plays on turn 6.
That is a huge wave for Johnson, I think.
Definitely. And the Space Stone is going to be able to move a Hulk for Tori at least, which, along with New York, creates a really stressful calculation as to where you should put your points.
Yeah, and Johnson can play 3 cards here with that wave coming out of the lockjaw lane. That is insane. Yeah, I like moving the lockjaw, honestly, and like just playing your Thanos in mid or something like that. Because you should still win, right? Yeah.
I mean, at this point, they can't play Shang mid, so the safest place to put your 9 and ups are there.
He could also do a situation here where
Oh,
see, yeah, he doesn't have prio
they
here,
can
so I was gonna
space stone
say,
it away, can't they? Yeah.
oh, they can. I was gonna say what he could do is he could play death on left. He could do, okay, yeah, that's wrong order.
Oh
I
yeah, I
think.
think the error.
Yeah, it's
Wrong
right.
order.
It's right, but I don't think he should put he should. I don't think he moves the lockjaw first because then the Odin's gonna disappear, right? So you're just losing 8 stats.
Yeah.
So I think if you put that lockjaw over to the left, or you play Odin there first, it's probably the better.
He might be looking for the Doom and deck.
Oh, actually, never mind.
Yeah,
If with
Odin switch.
the lockjaw, anyways, no matter where you move it to, the move will always trigger first. So actually, yeah, there's nothing he can kind of really do about it.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna stop the death. But it's fine, right? Because Odin's still gonna trigger arrow, so it should be fine, right? Yep. Oh, yep. This is beautiful. The Odin on the arrow. You love to see it.
You know what? Whenever I see an Odin used on an arrow in my ladder games, I'm like, who runs Odin these days? But in this match, it's incredibly exciting.
It's amazing. It's amazing. 4 Kelt points down for Tori there. He's on his last legs.
6 and 2.
Yeah. Was that round 4?
This has to be the
I don't know if that was
3 or 4.
high. I think that must have been high stakes. That must have been round. No, that seems too fast. Then maybe this is high stakes. Oh, this is only round 4 now.
No,
oh my
it's 4.
god.
Yeah, no, 3. I was right.
So this is
I think this is the fastest paced game we've had in all of the top 8.
Yeah. The last one was pretty fast too as well. It was a 9-0. It's pretty fast for Johnson. Yeah. So yeah, Tori.
Oh yeah, I mean in this set, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A very fast paced matchup.
For sure. Just a note here, Tori technically does have a free retreat. Because it is round 4. So
yeah, going into high stakes next round.
Yep. So if Johnson decides to snap, Tori can always just retreat, take that free loss.
Because Johnson's at 6 right now, so
yes.
I mean they both have a free retreat here, really.
Yes, correct. So overall,
if I was sitting at 7, I would be snapping immediately into Torikun.
Yes, I agree. Oh my god! I think this Killmonger could be cute. Okay, he's playing it now. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's weird. I respect playing the Killmonger now, but yeah, it goes with the free. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, if you don't have the nuts there, you're not staying into a snap.
Yeah,
going into high stakes.
Exactly. So here it is. This is basically, match point. If Tori has to win 3 games, Johnson only has to win 1. Starting off with the Nexus here.
It's probably looking all right for Tori. This is I think a below average draw for a Thanos deck. But pulling those stones certainly helps.
Well, he has the Killmonger at least, if he can get it. Yeah. See, this is the situation, right? If you're playing your regular Thanos deck and there is no Killmonger, it's like, well, that's my lane gone. That's my lane bricked.
Yeah, so, I lose. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in Johnson's list.
Yeah. Oh, we got a hammer dies as well.
Pulling into the Doom and the Odin would be lovely.
I'm so ready for it.
Value Town. Ideal order is you go Killmonger, Doom, Odin.
Yep. Oh, this could be good.
Oh, that's amazing.
As long as it's not Space Stone, this could be really good.
Could be fully clogged.
Ooh. That's actually a pretty good card for him to pull, but yeah, it's clogged.
Yes, so that's really good for Johnson. But they've still lost the Space Friend and they haven't been able to find the Killmonger so far.
I think you always move the Lockjaw here.
Yeah, because you can pretty much win.
Yeah, you just win quantum
straight numbers.
Yeah, exactly. You should be pulling at least 1 or 2 big things. Like, let me look back at the list here. Like, you got like a She-Hulk. Doom is just pretty decently sized as well. Magneto, yeah.
Oh yeah. Magneto is a card I rarely play around, but is very effective when used.
Yes. Actually, believe it or not, I think if we pull Magneto here, it might not be amazing because it means that we're pulling the Lockjaw for Tori.
Yeah.
So, but I still respect it. I like the wave here. It's good. It restricts Tori a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually, well, now if the Lockjaw if it's a Magneto, okay, Quinjet, it's not really what you want to see. Bit of a low roll there.
Johnson, Johnson's really hoping to top deck for
Yeah,
Killmonger on this next turn.
yeah. He really needs a Killmonger or just a big
Yeah.
card here. And that's really all
Even
it
if they,
comes down to.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, they haven't found the Killmonger, so now the Death is practically useless, other than just being a big stat stick.
This is so interesting because like now that the
Because now
Magneto,
that they pulled Magneto, they only have Shulk and Doom and maybe some stones in deck, so
yeah,
not
a Power
great
Stone
lockjaw
that would
pulls.
literally, yeah. But I do like playing the
Yeah.
Death here, or at least a big card on this side because you can do at least Reality Stone because that's going to be free on the Quantum Realm lane, and then probably just Magneto or whatever. I think you have to get something like Death out here, yeah, for sure. Okay, that's not gonna be enough on the right side, but it's pretty impactful for the left side. So, what does he
Oh,
need here?
drew the Space Stone, so if they... Well, the maximum they can pull on the left side is Shulk. I think they still lose to most plays, no matter what they put in the lockjaw lane.
Killmonger is bad here, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wait, ooh.
Oh,
But they've got Prio. It might not be. It might not be. I think I. Well, listen. You might as well go for it, right? There's no reason not to go for
yeah.
it. Uh,
No point in retreating.
yeah. I don't know if. I guess maybe you should have put Magneto on the right instead. Maybe it doesn't matter what you pull, but oh,
I guess if
that's
in case you go for a tie.
yeah. The
Yeah,
devil
there's
on
no winning
thing
here.
is just and there's yeah. Actually, that's why you shouldn't have done space because you run the risk of drawing your Killmonger first. So
I always forget the stones have an inherent on reveal draw.
yeah, yeah. Not to worry, not to worry. That was listen,
Right.
I feel like if he got the Killmonger, that was literally his game. I really
I
do.
mean, that's two
Yeah.
more for Tori, and I
Yeah.
think Tori really wants this. Maybe as you know, they've been topping every event, but
Hmm.
they've yet to take it all the way.
Yeah.
So I think Tori would love to see that tonight.
It would be a really good comeback here for Tori, and we'll go into game 3 if he does manage to clutch up here. All right, round 6. Let's get it. This is not a great hand. Yeah.
Yeah, not going to be able to fill up the raft, and especially in these high stakes games where you can't retreat, raft is probably one of the most swingy locations in the game.
Mm-hmm. That's one of those ones as well where when you run a card like Killmonger, it can be really good actually. Like it's really interesting because sometimes people kind of want to just like break their lane. Uh,
Oh,
but I
I'm
think
interested that Johnson isn't filling up raft here and then going for Killmonger on curve to free up the lane.
but he can still do that here. He can do Quinjet, Space Stone, Killmonger as well, so he can
Oh
still
yeah, with
fill.
the ramp. Yeah.
And I think in this situation, you probably have to do it just in case your opponent's going to do it as well.
Yeah, I was saying doing it this way, you could maybe try and trick Tori into thinking you wouldn't be able to fill it up this turn.
Yes.
How are we alive right now? We're not. Running on fumes.
Yeah, Shade. We've been going all day. So this is the finals. It's Tori versus Johnson. It's been a great match so far. Let me tell you, been an amazing match. Okay, well that's a card.
That is a card, but I don't think we have the tools to take advantage of it.
Well, you could just throw it down now. It's like I mean Johnson doesn't care about
True.
it, right? Yeah, you could just throw it down now.
It's vulnerable to Shang-Chi, but it's a really good threat and would force him to use it.
Yep, exactly.
And this makes the death so much cheaper if they're able to pull it. And with the wave going on 5, they could have an amazingly swingy turn 6.
Oh, we so want death here, right? We really want death because we're destroying
Really
destroying
want
all
death.
of our board. We're literally destroying his entire board as well. It's absolutely crazy. Is he? I was thinking he might do this. Yeah, I kind of like this play. And then maybe he saves, maybe he saves the Killmonger because the lane's already bricked. He'd have to play a pretty powerful card on the left to contest with the destroyer, or just straight up shine it. So
Yeah, and he's got waves, so there's no point discounting the death further.
Yeah,
if he's going to play it on 5.
Exactly. Oh,
Bit of a yawn.
Play your cards. Play your cards. Oh, I didn't get to play Space Stone.
Oh no!
Or Reality Stone, should I say? It's probably not. It's probably not the worst. Honestly, it's probably not the worst.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's not great for him because he misses a free stone.
But the Dream Dimension, actually, I think hurts Tori more than it hurts Johnson.
Yeah, I think he's really. I think he's upset though that he couldn't get that done. A lot of So I know that feeling when you're like, what do I play? Where do I play them?
Yeah.
So yeah.
When you make a change last second, you just don't have enough time.
Yeah.
You know, I much preferred it in Hearthstone when you had like the rope that would visually show how close you were to the end.
Yeah. Instead, you've got this loud noise making you feel under pressure. Like,
that stresses you out so much. Like the rope, I was like, that's kind of calm, but
Yeah.
with this, it's screaming at me.
Yeah. This Killmonger is still really, really good here.
Absolutely.
Like I said, if we get this death top deck, it's literally like a free card you can throw wherever. If Tori pulls this back, it will be very impressive.
It'll be insane, and it will also make it so that every single set that we featured in top 8 would be a best of 3.
Exactly.
Terrible for the players, but great for viewers.
great content indeed.
Yeah.
All right, so Dino perfectly contesting that destroyer. So Johnson having Prio here could be huge. Oh, he's not going to Prio, right?
Yeah, this is an interesting game state because if they don't have Prio, but if they had Prio, arrowing left and putting a Rarity Stone down would have been nice.
Arrow is just very good here still, I feel. Yeah.
Doom being the anti-arrow.
Oh, sorry. He played Doom and I was like, is this Arrow? No, it's Doom. Oh,
it's okay. You've been doing this for like 10 hours now.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while. But yeah, Doom is super good against that Arrow here for sure. So we've got the I mean, okay, let's try to figure out. Let's look at the deck and see what beats what Tori can do to beat Johnson here. Arrow would not beat him in this situation. I'll place 2 cards. Yeah, it's gonna be the Arrow on the space. It's not gonna be enough. Is that it?
That's it. That's it for Johnson.
We have it.
Is the first ever March Snap.Fan Open winner.
Congratulations to Johnson after bringing the heat with his absolutely amazing Thanos deck. One of probably the most original Thanos decks I've seen in quite some time. Like, I've seen a few that already have Killmonger and stuff like that, but to have Wave, Odin, and Doom in there, super unique. So, once again, huge congrats to Johnson. I'm sure he's like, oh, I can sleep now, but I'm sure he's very,
I can sleep.
very excited and very happy. So, we'll wish him congratulations. I'm sure we'll be sure to rate him. And yeah, that was an absolute pleasure to cast with you, my friend. Those last few games were amazing.